Today we're going to talk about Skydex technology. It's a revolutionary new product that's replacing foam in lots of applications. It's already being used as boat decking, it's being used in motorcycle helmets, NFL helmets, and other products where you receive a lot of impact. We're going to go over why this is more protective than standard foam products and how it's more protective in less space. Well, why is foam bad? Let me outline a few of the ways that foam is not the right product for you. First of all, over time, multiple impacts are going to create a memory with the foam. It will lose its effectiveness over time. This is probably the primary reason why you don't want to use this, especially in a helmet pad system. That foam will compress over time so that when you need it, it's not going to provide the protection that you need. Another problem with foam is what happens in extreme temperature changes. In extreme cold weather, it's going to harden and expand. It's going to be very uncomfortable to wear in those cold weather situations. In extreme hot weather, it's actually going to compress. But in either situation, it's not going to be a very effective padding system. It's going to lose its effectiveness and it's not going to protect your head. Another problem with foam is that over time, it acts like a sponge. It's actually going to attract and trap moisture, and that means sweat, bacteria, and odor is going to get retained over time. So why is Skydex better than traditional foam? Well, the first reason, it has more protection and less space than traditional foam. It also will absorb more impact over time than traditional foam. As you can also see, Skydex is curved to fit the contour of your head. That actually provides more protection and it helps the pad stay in place, protecting you when you need it. You can also see that there are channels through which air and water can flow freely through. That's great when you need air circulation in hot weather. It's also great when you need to clean it. It's also not going to trap and contain bacteria and sweat molecules like traditional foam will. It's also not affected by extreme temperature changes. It's not going to contract, it's not going to expand, and it's not going to be uncomfortable to wear. Now let's talk about impact and how Skydex technology is superior than foam helmet pads. We're going to see a test that has 2 consecutive impacts. Now, impacts are judged in 2 ways. 250 Gs, felt Gs, is considered to be a concussion. 300 Gs is considered to be fatal. Now again, in the first test, you're going to see the difference between a Skydex helmet pad system and a traditional foam pad system. As you can see, the traditional foam pad came very close to a fatal impact. In the second test, it very clearly failed. As you can also see in both charts, the Skydex helmet system never came close to what is considered to be a concussion, which is 250 Gs. Very clearly, the foam pad system failed in the second test. If that's not a clear indication of why you need to replace your current traditional foam pad helmet system, I don't know what is. Another thing to remember is that this test was conducted with a new, brand spanking new traditional foam helmet pad system. If you've been wearing that system for some time, that system has actually been degraded over time and probably will fail on the first impact. Now we're going to go over the breakdown of the Skydex pad. Now what we have here in front of me is the Skydex pad and the MSA pad that you would have in a normal issue helmet. You can clearly see the labels on both Skydex and the MSA pad. We're going to go ahead and cut through these so that you can see layer by layer what's inside. Now we're going to go ahead and cut through the MSA helmet pad liner. The interesting thing about the Skydex, and we've said this before, it's actually more protection and less space. As you can see, this is all that's providing the protection on your head, whereas this is providing protection in the other one. So very, compare and contrast. This is very small, very lightweight compared to this piece. This is just for comfort and moisture wicking, whereas the entire piece here is supposed to be protecting your head. For demonstration purposes, I have an old style Pasket helmet. It doesn't make any difference if you have a newer style ACH or Mitch helmet or a Pasket style. The installation is the same. Essentially, you have Velcroed coins throughout the helmet system that you can place yourself, and then you take your pad system and place them depending on your needs. Now the full installation looks like this. Now the Skydex system comes in two models, the ACH or Mitch model or the Pasket model. The only difference between the two is that the Pasket model adds the suspension system. So if you already have one of the newer model helmets, you just need to get the ACH/Mitch model. It basically just replaces the pad system. If you're not sure of which helmet that you have, just go ahead and get the Pasket system. It's only a few dollars more and it adds the suspension system. Now you may notice on this particular model that I have, we actually have a foliage suspension system that actually does not come with the Skydex system. It comes with the black suspension system, but this is an optional accessory. Now while we're on the subject of accessories, you may want to take a look at our combat helmet band. You can basically get 3 pieces of critical information embroidered on a Gore-Tex name tape and added to a Cat Eyes helmet band system. Last name, battle roster, and blood type. We also have a number of helmet covers, depending on your model. This one is actually a Mitch helmet. But let me tell you a little bit about this helmet cover. It actually comes with the IR tabs built in and these nice protective flaps on each major direction. So you've got them on each side, you've got it on the top, and you've got it on the back. It also has your battery compartment flap for your night vision goggles. You also see here, these 2 straps here are actually for a retention device for your goggles. You can actually route your goggle strap through these and it will keep the goggles on your helmet. So in case it falls off, it actually won't fall off your helmet. It will keep that retained. You can find all these great accessories for your helmet at uscav.com.